Hi everyone and welcome for this brand new material test. This time we are going to test the Pure Pigment acrylic from Kimera model. Thanks to my boss on Patreon who helped me to buy this kind of stuff. That's always cool, and I can exchange with you and show you what I think about. So what we are going to do is open this box, take a look inside, and after that trying a little bit the different color just for you to see what is the effect of this color on the miniatures. So remember to subscribe to the channel, click on the ring, and by the way, support me on Patreon to have access to a private group so you can share with me your work and I give you my feedback. By the way, for December, I'm going to make a special content for my boss on Patreon. Don't hesitate to subscribe before the end of November to have access to all of my tutorial for December. Thanks again, and let's go for the paint. Here we are, let's go. We are going to open this box and see what's inside. So first we have a quick advice and guide painting with a Facebook page, and let's go. So some mix example. So there are a lot of pigment, so it's going to be very covering, I hope. Pure Pigment mixing tips, donc some tips about the mixing and all the way to mix your color. So, and now it's a different bottle. It's pretty interesting to see what kind of bottle it is. And this is, yes, perfect. So we can put very easily into our palettes. I'm going to put some different color on my palette for the try. So I put the white, the red. I'm going to put a point of orange so we can see in which way that's going to dry quick or not. I'm thinking it was white, but this is not white, this is a satin medium, I think so. Et voilà. For this test I'm going to use an orcs. So we are going to start by the green. As you can see, it's, yes, very covering, very charged in pigments, that's right. So I'm going to dilute. Even if it's very, very diluted, the reaction of color is pretty good because they're not going to create some big point of pigment. So that seems pretty good. So we are going to mix a little bit of this green and this very strong yellow. Just to see, the yellow don't seem to be very covering, but as you can see, I have some kind of not enough to fit with my orc army. I need something more strong again, so I had more and more yellow. When it's easy to apply and very fluent like that, is really a good point, a very good point. So the yellow is pretty covering, but not so much, so it will be more easy to create your transition. And as you can see directly on my green, I can put my yellow to have my highlight on the green, so that's work pretty well. And that's pretty covering, so a lot of very good point for this paint. So we are going to apply first the red directly, not very diluted, on this part, just to take a look. It's pretty covering, so that's pretty cool. And now we are going to dilute a lot, just to put some effect in the head. So just to clean my transition right here, I can come back with some green, just like that. What I can do now, we can try, for example, we can try with some white and mixing to have a pink color for the head. Again, that's pretty cool. I'm starting to being in love with this range of color. That's a good thing because I'm thinking a lot about, you know, I limited my number of bottle on my desk, and that seems to be pretty good and easy to apply. So perhaps I can remove some of my actual bottle and change with that one. It's not so easy to find, I think, the Kimera color, but I find it on internet. So the white is really covering. That seems so cool, and I'm going to be in love with this paint. So I see a lot Girio, it's a French painter you can find on Facebook, for example, and he used a lot this paint, and that's worked pretty well. By the way, Ben Comet and a lot of very talented painter, and I really want to try just to see if that's work, and yes, that's work. And even if I have a lot of good feedback, I confirm it's really awesome. Very covering, pretty cool. So I think we do a lot, we test a lot for the moment, just for a quick tutorial, quick tests that work pretty well. Really I enjoy a lot, and we test, I think, all the different paint except, for example, the black, perhaps, and some blue, by the way. I'm going to use the blue probably to pushing some shadow into my laser, for example. So big thanks to my people, my boss on Patreon, who support me and to give me the possibility to buy this paint. And by the way, all of you can thanks my boss on Patreon, because you can see the results with this paint. Really awesome. So I'm going to apply, even if it's very diluted, it's very covering, so you need to dilute a little bit more to have very low pigment on your paint. This very diluted blue is going to help me to have my shadow into the laser. That's always work pretty well, but as you can see, I need to dilute a lot for this effect, because yes, the pigment is the paint is very charged in pigment, so you need to dilute a lot, but it's a real pleasure to apply. So it's time. I think we take a look on everything, and yes, I'm totally fun and I love it. You can stay for the conclusion. So this is the end. Thanks again for watching. I really hope you enjoy this test. By the way, I really enjoy the paint. A lot of time it's when you have a lot of feedback about something like a movie or anything else. Sometimes even if it's really positive, you can expect more than usual and be a little bit sad about the result, but not this time. I really enjoy this paint. It's very interesting, so I'm going to continue to use it. For the moment, I can't say to which paint my preference goes, but probably after 6 or 7 months of using it, I will have a more precise idea about what paint I'm going to use a lot. So thanks again for watching. Don't hesitate to comment if you have any kind of question, and don't hesitate, by the way, to support me on Patreon to have access to more tutorials and again a surprise for December. So you need to support before the end of November to be sure to be present into my Patreon and have access to all in December. By the way, you can always support me by subscribing and click on the ring and pushing some comment for my referencement. That's helped a lot. Thanks again for watching and see you soon for the next tutorial. Bye bye.